Welcome. Pauses for the last time for dramatic effect. To the Lift of Leadership podcast, ladies and gentlemen. We are back. As we know. Ooh, Daniel, you can't do that to me. Hey, oh yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, so yes, as we say, the last time for season 1. Somebody told me that, yo, somebody laaste keer. Die hoeveelste? Laaste. So, 9 episodes, that's our EP. And tonight, we're going to give you the laws of the trade-offs from Mr. John C. Maxwell, 15 invaluable laws of growth. And we'll also touch on all the other laws as we went through and culminating in tonight's episode. As you can see on the long table, I am not alone. The man who intervened at the wrong time with the song, my resident guest, Mr. Daniel Neelvenhuizen, with me at the table. How are you, sir? Guns blazing.
Bah! Oh. Ladies and gentlemen, episode 9, season finale. What a journey it's been, Mr. Miller.
Nou, echt journey. Potent. 9 weeks, a lot of sacrifice in this 9 weeks, eh?
Lot of trade-offs.
Lot of trade-offs. Could have been doom scrolling at this time.
Sure, definitely would have been doom scrolling.
Because I'm only imagining, if you didn't tune in, then you definitely missed out. So please jump on over and go like and subscribe, as you say. But I'm going to stick on here, even to the Instagram, brothers and sisters. I said it to remain a bit formal, because this is the EP where we're going to bring everything together. And the law of the trade-off says, you have to give up to go up. And when I tell this man, that's the law we're discussing for the night, this man went so much to the, look like he's going to talk the most in this weeks after all we did. But because you couldn't believe this one existed, eh?
Now, this is for me personally. This is
the one.
This is the one for me personally where I'm at. So that is why.
That's what this is. You have to give up to go up.
You have to give up to go up, because it's always relevant. There's always something that you need to give up to go to a new level.
Yeah, no, and I'll kick it off with obviously bringing out the notes. Very important. Always reading on here for the brothers and sisters. Because what the law of the trade-off says, it actually starts with a couple of things that we all know we need to have. Do you have vision?
Yes, sir.
I'm impressed. Hard work? I'm impressed. Personal growth?
All the time.
Work for all the time.
One way or another.
I'm gonna get you. I like that, personal growth. Now this is the fourth one. Do you have this? Letting go of things that you love and value the most.
Oh, no, that's where you get stuff. That's
No.
where you get stuff.
Getting rid of the doom scrolling. Because this is all about it, getting rid of the comfortability. Definitely. Hi, brother Zaiki Gamildin. Keep inspiring the youth from the PSL with love. And surely you had to give up a lot. It's on my scenarios as I pull out the sportsman, what you all have to give up to go up. Because then you're more focused on, you don't like to say focus on the reward, but process is, outcome is part of the business, eh?
Yes, sir.
You gotta keep your eye on the prize, eh?
There has to be fruit at the end of the day.
Bro, because we were seeding it out here, all 9 weeks, planting seeds and seeds and seeds. And the potent thing of the drive was, this man just said one line and I said, yo, I needed somebody to say that. And it was, not appreciating what you don't see. Oh, I was like, yeah, per me. And I was telling him that that's per me why I stop. Because there's always trade-offs available to us throughout our lives. And what I have down is that when you face a trade-off, it's actually a chance for opportunity. So usually the trade-off is my favorite one. As you know, what is the time? The time is now. So there's certain things you can't compromise. I obviously have a family, so can't compromise family time now. But I'm obviously going to take it back to maybe 5 years ago when there was no family, when there was just 2 people. How you find yourself trading off now, man?
Yeah, it's crazy.
Your
It's
time.
mad. time is, for me, what I realize now, time is more important than anything. Like, you also need to make people understand that your time is valuable. Because you can't make them understand that their time is valuable. They need to realize that for themselves. But for your time, you need to communicate that.
My time is my time.
My time is my time.
And I find myself late also a lot. I don't like it. It's not my, but you can't make it obviously part. And it was potent the other day when somebody told me, in a nice kak way, you can't be late. You know, you're a businessman. This is the things you do. And unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, no excuses, because the thing about excuses, as was said on many an episode, your excuse is your truth. That's why it's not lekker when your stomach is sore, because then only your stomach is sore. And I come a very long way in the sport game, long enough to taste a bit of professionalism. So you have to give up a lot, because you miss a training session. I don't, I'm going to have, oh, this is a beautiful one. I was never good enough to miss a training session and still play the Saturday. Now at my older age.
And that's at accountability.
Was never memorable. Because there was big dogs that they miss a session. I mean, you know, you need that big dog. You need him to play. So, and that's maklik wanneer that we're trading off, you know. Trading off a training session here and there. And then in the long run, because that's the one thing you also want to touch on, in the long run.
In the long run. Because I think that's where the trade-off ties in with the consistency, the law of consistency.
Well, you're there already.
Yeah.
I don't even want to chase that law of consistency. It's too much for me. I can't. It's very difficult.
Consistent trade-offs yield amazing results.
I know, but so I go with the other one again. With the one where the higher you go, the bigger the trade-off. So it's going to be smaller but bigger. So I find that, and it's for me, it's like simple, like looking at the relationships and what that values to the bigger picture, and then trading off that. Like
Exactly.
Sever Rodriguez.
Because it's amazing what you're saying, because the higher you go, the less the small things actually matter.
Yeah, no.
So the trade-offs have to be bigger the higher you go.
That's
It's
it.
crazy.
And then, yeah, no, on the top of your game, you're going to have to trade off a lot of things. You have to trade off even looking at some people. You just can't be tempted to fight. You know what I mean? I don't even want to look and say, living my life vicariously to other people in the parties, eh?
It's crazy. Like, law of the trade-off, it takes me back to me leaving the nest, me leaving the mother's nest. You know, for me, there was no need for me to do it. My parents told me, you don't need to do this, don't do this, not now. But for me, I knew that if I stayed in the nest, I wouldn't be able to fly right now.
Oh,
You with me? And when I moved out, my dad told me, this is you spreading your wings. So yes, you are making a sacrifice, you are making a trade-off. But what you are gaining in return.
Do you know what is the best thing about all these laws? Is like this, not exactly what you're doing. This, I grant that. When you were doing so, you did something in the past, and yeah, as we would love to say in the Dusty, you commit, you confound, you find out, oh my word, dat braad houdt erbij. Nee, als maar veel lekker nou. It's like, it's actually a thing, because these are success principles.
Exactly.
Love them and reach your potential. So you actually come like, and this is why that book is so full, because you could actually go like, reflect like, yo, I was just trading off. Yo, I was just living the law of the trade-off. So the gem of the podcast is to find some solace in the laws, you know, and then obviously go out and then go read them and then go like, oh, so, yeah, this is my law. I did this one.
It's amazing, because the thing is, a lot of the times there's a lot of the laws that we are applying one way or another, but unintentionally. Now just imagine how exponential your growth is when you start applying the laws intentionally.
What episode, what was that?
That was episode
2.
Yeah.
As we reflect also on the 9 episodes. So yeah, intentionality again. And that's why it all again...
It coincides.
Coincide.
And I think that we have to give this series justice, we have to look at what is a law. Because people might be thinking, okay, law of intention, law of the lead, law of this, law of that.
Say law net.
Say law net.
I am the law.
I am the law.
Turns out straight.
So there's two ways to look at laws. We can look at laws through the eyes of the justice system.
Justice Itole.
So in that regard, laws are designed to maintain order.
Why?
Are you with me? And then
Like, you
Yes.
can't drive over 60 here in Salmon Way.
asseblief.
Oh ja, dinig hier.
That's
Bump and grind.
the road is 50 meters long. That's the whole road. Say race, sister. Ew.
Or Sloop, one of the best Papa Wheelie places. But I've seen many a man lose a tire against the curb. You gotta know what laws to abide by. I like actually that one of the laws. Because I'm gonna tie that in with laws sometimes are very rigid, eh? And only ghosts understands one thing, like societal laws. If you murder someone, you're going to jail. Unless you've been watching. I was very worried once, just a young tangent, just hold that thought. Young tangent, shout out to the wife. She was watching how to get away with murder. That is most a problem, eh? You can't be watching that series here at my house.
I don't want to talk about that. I don't want to go there because I'm going to get
No, I'm putting it out there just in case, you know, just in case the people know.
evidence.
If potentially you were watching that stuff. So, but there's laws to govern this thing. If I go, this is what's going to be used in the case. He said that on the podcast.
Exactly. it's
So
evidence.
investigate this thing. So you know what I'm saying? So I love the laws of society, but the one thing the laws of society doesn't cater for is this. It only judges you on your behavior. It will never look at the emotion. Unfortunately.
It's one-dimensional.
It's there we go.
And so the word law comes from the Old English word lagu, right? Which means something laid down or fixed.
It makes.
It makes.
It manager.
We have to. We have to go with the it makes. And then for me, my favorite perspective of law is it's a scientific perspective
Mr. Life Science.
of law, you know what I mean?
Uh,
So, just to give you some background, in life science, before something can become a law, it starts as a hypothesis,
Ooh.
right? So it starts as an estimated guess,
Ahoy.
right? Once, whatever we are investigating, once we have found a certain result in what we were investigated, and we find it over and over and over by doing the same investigation, it then becomes a theory.
Ooh.
But the theory still is not fixed.
Mm.
You understand? Once the theory itself becomes foolproof, it then becomes a law. Like the law of gravity.
Hey.
Are you with me?
Gravity.
So, unlike theories, laws do not offer explanations, but rather they describe patterns that have been reported and repeated and observed and validated through experimentation.
Jump off the building.
Jump over the building, you're going to land on the floor. That's my favorite one in life science. I always tell them, if I drop this thing, it's going to fall to the ground. If someone in Mexico drops this thing, it's going to fall to the ground. Someone in Ireland drops a pin, it's going to fall to the ground.
Yeah, no.
Law of gravity.
It's working against me.
So it's foolproof, and
Yo.
what we're trying to say is that these laws are foolproof. Right? Mr. John C. himself, he didn't just suck these laws out of his thumb.
Don't tell them where you got it from.
You know
They're
what I
not
mean?
going to like it.
Exactly.
They're not going to like
We're
it.
not going to like it. We're not going to go there.
Nobody likes it either.
But that's what laws are. Laws are universal. They apply anywhere and everywhere.
Sure. Whether you're a farmer. Look, so when I put my scenarios together for the evening, my notes. So then one of my favorite prompts is give me different scenarios where the laws apply. And I would always ask for a call center agent. I'll tell you, I always ask for a call center agent, a professional sportsman, fathers, parents, education, music and arts, lifestyle choices, and spiritual growth. That's my go-to ones. Because I think that's my facets of life.
Yeah.
I boxed it in that. And call center agents is just as well there.
Yo, I was there.
Because I know what they go through.
Yeah.
It's a lot in there. And because that's my normal person on the street vibe. Like, you don't know where you're going to. You're stuck in this thing that's just, it's there, you know it's there. And if it has to, as they say, sometimes your job can fund your what did we used to say when you used to trade? Your full-time job can fund your part-time hustle.
Hustle, yeah.
And then it becomes your full-time hustle, then it becomes your dream, then it becomes your purpose, and so forth and so forth. And that's why I think we always would have walked out, jumped off. Now we are outside the school system. We always would have found ourselves out there because it was, okay, we can start a tutoring service on the outside, then transition into just having a home, and then obviously not sending our son in there, and then just having a school for him alone. But then we thought that's a bit too dark. We need more people. We can't be 4 people educating 1 man. So we've decided we need to have a school. And that's a big, treacherous mountain on its own, which I found out. I like the 7 mountains, which I love now because I say, hey, the mountain that I'm involved in here is the other one. Hey,
Actually, it's the biggest mountain if you think about it.
damn.
Because the kids that you teach, right, the influence you have on these kids, they will go out into the other 6 mountains. So the mountain of education is literally the most important and powerful mountain.
Education,
because it ties in everywhere. And while we're talking, a question came to mind, Mr. Miller.
Yeah.
And my question is, maybe you can take us through some of the most meaningful trade-offs you've had to make in your life.
Hey, don't ask me questions on here, hey people. Don't ask me so deep questions on here. I'm not here. I'm here to talk.
Just what?
Answering questions like this, we have to take you back to the year. We're going to go for the school trade-offs? No, that's you didn't know, man. You didn't know. So you can't go for the high school ones. But definitely the university vibes. First year, I'll definitely have to bring it up on episode 1, season 2, my university results. Please remind me.
Yes. I'll make a note.
Because it's horrible. It's horrible. My first year university results is horrible. So that trade-off was definitely ultimate. That hiding my results away for that first year and then not telling my mommy that December and then just using all the money again to register again and go back. I didn't say nothing. Yeah. Trade-off, and I must trade off your parents not speaking to you. Oh, God. But a lot of trade-offs, small trade-offs that I can say, I don't want to bring up anything, but a lot of sacrifices of just doing. I always say, oh, you when no one's around. So I didn't say when I was getting up in the morning around 6 o'clock here and starting to think, back up and down, just wanting to stay fit. Going to university was a trade-off on its own because everybody else is going to work. They have more money. I've got a bitchy money playing, but that was my clean bitchy. And a lot of my trade-offs was just sacrificing time, all the time. But I think my biggest trade-off, I would have to say, and I mentioned it, it's fake, man, I must actually get that clip on my previous podcast, the Fagan Miller podcast. My biggest trade-off was in 2020. I think it was around about the 10th of July. Just leaving a lot of friends behind and just going like, nah, I had enough of this. Let me just focus on my minor group of people, which is my family, and then take it from there, and here we go. Because sometimes you realize you can only do so much, but the worst part with me is that you can only say so much. But now you have a lot to say then. So there's like, nah, you need to let go of this, because how are you going to grow throughout this?
Exactly.
Because here you go, it's life's going to grow past you. And that's what I was saying, like, you won't grow, like, if you don't grow, then life grow. Like, okay, so don't stop growing. So we can't, like, I can't be in that vicious cycle. I didn't talk about the things. And now I can look back and say, like Joey Jacobs, check out Beyond Maths, erg potent. Like Joey Jacobs told me, you will be tested on the things you preach to the people. I check, yo, really?
And that's the thing, because, okay, we're not going to make it too much about you, Mr. Miller, but you live a life of trade-offs, and I was thinking this the other day, is how do you do it day by day without getting tired? You wake up in the morning, because I've seen it with my own eyes, where you wake up, no matter what happened yesterday, and you just go again.
Here we go.
How?
It's the here we go.
Oh.
It's the Fabricio. Here we go.
It's powerful.
I see, and it's this mad thing. You see small stuff that remind you, like, boys, you gotta keep going, bro. Definitely living my life here. I see Keeks the Great on here. Keeks the Great is abroad, and I'm gonna get you to talk to the children, man. I know. So Keeks the Great is abroad, living his life, lavish all the way in Europe. Not lavish, as in yes, I live my life vicariously through his travels. But it's things like that. Like I still want to get to do that. You know, like I say when I speak to my son and he can tell me and say, "What is now when you're 7? No, we're going to Disneyland." I'm like, "Oh, now we're gonna get there." He's no, I don't know, like we don't know how you're gonna get there. And when you're 8, no, you said we're going to England. It's like, oh. And when you're 9, no, you said Portugal. And when you're 10, no, we're moving out. We're done here with South Africa. We're going to Spain. And these are small little reminders of every day is important. But a lot of things that's not going also the right way. A lot of challenges. And I mean, you witnessed to that also.
Yes.
A lot of challenges every day, and sometimes going just, that again, that's part of the business. This is probably something that's getting thrown because of something. And that's also the lekker thing for me, the discernment. It's my new word. I use it all the time. I love it. To discern things, like, because I don't want to be reactive, because I am. You've seen that also.
Yeah.
I can go for you. But it's alright, keep it for the soccer field.
Yeah. That is your outlet. That's the
The
outlet.
football field, I scored the air goal on Sunday, or the air celebration. My son wasn't there and I entered the other field. But at the end of the day, that's the outlet, because you've seen, like, I can go at you. Like, we can go here, we can go, bro. And not, I don't fight. I've never ever fought a day in my life. It's my claim to fame. Yeah, we can go. We can talk, right? We can speak. But at the end of the day, calm down. What is this about? And then let's go again. Because a lot of things you have to trade off every day, which is your time. Like I say, you don't have to do what you do. You get to do what you do. And when I look now, talking like this, because now you're making me talk about me.
Yes.
This is just part of the outreach, so to say. Do what you have to do to make it work. Whatever you are doing. If somebody gets better out there, I'll be the first brother to say potent. But I'm also going to maybe be the first brother to say, okay, I just want to try this, why don't you do this? Then if you come at me with no, but you're not doing what I'm doing, what do you know? Then you didn't, like my intention was never to really,
compete.
Yeah, and that's also part of the trade-offs. So come after that trade-offs, now we get different trade-offs. Trade-off, I told you, soccer clubs. I play at the club and I don't feel that this align, like, nah, we're gonna, like, I'm a growth vibe, bro. I'm not fixed. And you gotta, like, change your badge.
The environment must be conducive.
Environment must be conducive to growth, bro. Everybody's got to be thinking on a level of what next? What is the best doing? That's if you are.
That's crazy.
Every time you get news that's bad, it's like, okay, so this just forces me to work harder. Let's go again. It's like it's never a knock.
Yeah.
And I think with the trade-offs, because I wrote it down there, what are you willing to give up? What's the minuses and what's the plus? What's this trade-off is about? Because the minuses is potent. When you look at the minuses, like, okay, I'm only going to lose out on that. And I have a lot of stories to tell. And you don't make this podcast like that.
And
this would be about, eh?
That's crazy. The minuses, they only look big in the moment.
Yeah, no.
And this is what I've been trying to do with myself, is in that moment, where I'm trying to stick with the minuses. I try just to tarry there, but
God's too.
I try not to fight the temptation to do the thing. I try just to tarry there, and I found that if you tarry long enough, you will convince yourself that this thing is not worth it. So that's what I've been trying, and talking about the law of environment and how it ties into the trade-off. I have to mention my call center experience as well.
How you go, how our surroundings impact the decisions and the trade-offs.
Exactly. And for me, I remember the person I was going in there, and the person I saw myself.
Must be the reason.
Afterwards, it was, I couldn't recognize myself, and I will always remember this one defining moment. It's the moment.
There's always a defining moment in the call center.
It's a defining moment.
Lamming with a score on the table.
Oh, my stomach lining was gone.
Score on the table, pakkie, fruit chutney, samba.
It That's the go-to.
That's a standard issue, yeah.
The go-to is your school,
Jelly bean.
your bar one,
Bar one.
your school and your...
Julle suiker.
Oh, gone.
Horrible diet.
Horrible, no, but diet was bad. Mum, it's
Terrible.
because my health.
Huh?
My health was bad.
Trading of your dignity.
Oh. And the thing is, you think it's quiet because you getting...
Yeah, no,
You're getting a penny. You are in an environment where everyone is doing the same thing, and it's the popular thing to do. So you just say, "Now we on." And I'll never forget it. There was this one day where I was separated from everyone in the cubicles, and I'm like at the bottom, and I just stand up and I look down, and I'm watching everyone.
Oh,
and
what a rat race.
In the rat race, they're having the time of their life. Like they literally look like they're here, they're home. They don't look like they're going anywhere anytime soon. Some of those people have been there for 5, 6, 7, 8 years, and they're in the same position, but they look with it. They chilled with it. And I thought to myself, this can't be you. And
it's echt mee to come in there because we don't, like we say, you don't hate on the next occupation. Is
Yes.
while you're sitting in that chair, like one of the things we spoke about is personal growth, and obviously the thing that hit Daniel the most when we connected again was like personal growth is a belief for me. Like I believe in it, like on another level. Like I believe in going to church every Sunday. I believe in personal development. I believe there's something more than that. And then finding someone who took the word and then turned it into a whole lot of laws just to disguise there.
And it's authentic. The thing about it, and this is what we were talking to the kids.
Authenticity.
We're talking to the kids about this today is that when your language lines up with your true intentions, it comes across as genuine, and people can feel genuine. People can resonate with genuine. So for me, that's what it was, and that's what it is, and that's what it continues to be. So definitely there was that moment, and I remember it took me, from that moment, it took me almost a full year to leave. Right, because it was comfortable, it was very, very comfortable. And I'll never forget the day that I took my box in, my computer, the box, because I was working from home. So I had the computer box, and I had the screen as well.
Yeah, no.
And I carried it from Grassy Park. I took it from Grassy Park to Sensory City. So I first took it from Grassy Park to Retreat, from Retreat to Town, from Town to Sensory City. And I carried it, and in my mind I'm just like, I'm done with this. And I dropped that at that place, and I walked out of that building. It was a sunny day. It felt one of the most liberating days of my life. But in the back of my mind I also knew, the sacrifice starts.
A few trade-offs only come once.
Sinks into seat.
Guys,
Yeah.
the cycle of change gives us windows of opportunity in which to make a few decisions. Sometimes that cycle only goes around once. Hey, did you love twice? Yo, twice.
Yo,
You only
Yo
love
toe.
twice.
Yo toe.
You only love twice, bro. Skiet jou nou, 5 shots couldn't drop me. I took it in smell. Huh? Think you Tupac here. Miss it, and the opportunity is, in the words of my father's favorite words,
Weg.
there we go.
And there's been a few of those.
That's only one time.
Yeah.
Make a decision now. Make it now. You're gonna sacrifice this time now. We're gonna do this now. And there's a few things and trade-offs only come around once in life.
And that brings me into part of the law of trade-off is change.
Yeah, no?
So
Only
change,
constant.
the 3 levels. There's 3 different kinds of people, right? So, and you know this.
Get 'em.
People who change before they have to get the win.
Get
So
'em.
that's what you call proactivity. With me, people who are able to see a trend and then before the thing actually happens, before the bubble bursts, they make the trade-off.
Nice.
So they trade before they have to. They get the win. Then you get people who trade when they need to. So usually they miss the opportunity and they fall with regret. Because you're only trading off because you need to.
The pain of discipline or the pain of regret?
It's one of the big ones is you have a lighty now, you make a lighty. Now you have to change your lifestyle.
You don't.
If you don't, then you know you're gonna be a statistic. That light is gonna be a statistic. So it's that trade-off where you must now choose.
And before I forget what I want to say, discipline weighs an ounce, pain weighs forever.
Oh. That's crazy.
Was you reading today?
Pain of regret.
Yeah, no.
And then the third level, the third type, is people who refuse to change. Yeah. Refusing to change.
Refuse.
Refusing to change is death to your potential. Death to your potential. You're stuck in your ways, you refuse to see that there's another possible way.
There's no individual person we're speaking to. We're just your mentors, we have to help you.
Sometimes we're speaking to ourselves.
Most of the time.
Most of the time we're speaking to ourselves. And that's why we can talk the way we talk, because we're coming from a place of this is first for us. This is first
still being implemented on the daily.
Yeah, because it's a journey.
Journeyman. Journeyman. Law of environment. Then you have the law of design. You have to design the trade-off. So you have to. Because there's a way to trade the thing off. Nothing just be able, it's not liquor to just let something go. So there's a lot of things you need to design when you trade something off. You need to now design the next phase. You need to design, like you say, and now it's maybe a time for you to drop your scripture you were busy putting together. You have to forget.
Forget the things that were and press towards the mark. That's one of the scriptures that's been banging on my head for a while. It's 3rd Philippians verse 13, where it says, brothers, as I believe brothers.
Kom die man.
Where's my brothers? Where's my brothers now? Okay, so basically it says, brothers, I have not apprehended, but doing this one thing, pressing forward towards the mark, I leave everything behind. I know my words is a bit jumbled, but the premise is leaving everything that is behind. I press towards the mark of the high calling of God in Christ Jesus. And that's a trade-off, because sometimes what keeps us behind is the fact that we keep looking behind. So sometimes you need to trade off that looking behind and just keep your eyes going forward. And that is so tough. Not looking behind doesn't mean that you don't use the past as the experience, the things that you got from the past has valuable things to add, but the past is there for us to learn, it's there for experience, it's not there for us to linger. Because when we linger there, we're stuck there, we can get stuck there.
Did you have to?
Do you know anyone that is stuck in the past?
Lingerie, aka lingerie.
Jessie linger.
Jessie lingerie. The loss of a trade-off usually is felt long before the gain. The loss of the trade-off is always felt before the gain. And that's most the chink. And this is what I was telling you, that significant gains. I was glad when you said that, because we do so much small things that we don't see the fruits of it. For example, creating curriculums. Like I've created boundless content for the children that I've created myself. ChatGPT may know with the air presentation and what and the granite and the amount of resources used. Today it was so lekker playing them 2019, the speech that broke the internet, Robert Kiyosaki, and just that 10 minutes and the Olamisa. And I go, yay, did you just watch this? And just 2 or 3 of them, and I forget, hey man, I didn't play this for you. And then they all went on like, yo, I'm like, but the nice thing is we're 8 weeks into the term already. So I've taken them through a whole EMS vibe, why you must know accounting, not to be an accountant, but you're going to have your own beeswax one day. How do you manage your business here? You know, how do you manage your thing? And then showing them the Kiyosaki, and the Kiyosaki bring it all together for me today. Beautiful. How do you learn about money? Monopoly. 4 houses do what? 4 houses make a hotel. Plus I can rattle off the whole thing already. I'm talking while they just take, yo, look at this, man. I say yes, well, they must say, can you watch it again? I say, another period's finished, I'm going now, thank you. That's when I came in until they were watching it again. Or during break they were watching it again. Because it knock you. That's that one that knock you hard. Like, oh my word. And the rich don't want you to know about this? No, they cringe. They cringe. This is exactly what the rich don't want you to know.
Yes.
This is exactly what we teach. Like, you've got to be adding in this principle some way or the other.
It's a matrix. They'll lose their grip on the control. They'll use their grip on control.
Can't say the matrix.
Oh my word. Sorry. I hope can they bleep that out maybe.
Yeah, no. Talking about neo-spec.
But that's just how it is. So the thing is that's what we're doing is we try to empower these kids.
Yeah, no. And empower you because you don't know where it is. That's what I find most of the time. And this is why a lot of people they go like they fight like it's like you don't know it all. What do you think you know? And then it's like it's not. It's like here's it, my bro. Simon Sinek, The Infinite Game. It all starts with why. Like I took the time out to go through, read the book, listen to the audio book, listen to a past stuff for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? For me, but for you. Who can benefit from it?
I'm thinking now, while you're saying it like this, do you know how much, I'm just thinking to the general person, which is all of us, do you know how much courage it takes to put yourself out there like that? Because with that, it comes the criticism that you're talking about. It comes the misunderstanding, people not understanding your heart and your intentions. But you make the trade-off anyway because of your intention. Right? And takes me to my next point, which is the trade-offs we make also need to be strategic. Strategic sacrifice. Knowing when to make which trade-off.
We want change, but we don't want to wait for the results. Now the in-between periods when it feels like a loss and how you deal with that is not dependent on your personality. So if you're that quiet person, if you're the happy person, it's not dependent on your personality. It's dependent, now maybe you understand this word, your attitude. Because I know like and it's potent because I've now had kids that's adults. Like full adults, like real people, and they were in my class. So I can see how just having a positive attitude, because this is from the dusty streets in the Mitchell's Plain, hey, back against the wall, and I saw how just having a positive attitude. Shout out Tyron de Villiers, you know Tyron.
De Villiers, he's doing crazy things, eh?
Now you know Tyron from the heart, and now what do you say about that? Tell me his attitude is not positive.
Definitely.
So just having, it's not about who you are. Who he is, he's a quiet man. He only come at the show when he's with us, man. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, it's just his attitude. Leave your shite at the door. PMA, positive mental attitude. Where did that come from? Napoleon Hill. Who's going to teach you that? Nobody. So that's what, when I was teaching at Cedar High School in Mitchell's Plain, that's the stuff I was plugging into the children already. And just like, so it works. Because you can't change your personality. So you come here with your guns and I had to show you who's Rabube.
Yo, Rabube? The amazing Rabube. Yo, nah, they ruined it forever for me.
So ladies and gentlemen, just a young tangent again. This is coming next season where we go on tangents. Alright, there's going to be a blocky here. And then John's going to put the blocky here. And then we're going to press play so on the screen. And then Rabube is going to play.
Maybe that was be our new theme song. Rabube, Rabube.
So for those who know, for those of you who know from my gen, Rabube.
Yeah.
So Rabube was Spider-Man in Kosa, for those who know. So when we grew up, you see, we had to have an imagination.
Maar Rabobe.
It's real. You will see us on the YouTube and everything.
Traumatized.
No, this was how we were raised. Rabube, this is still this is CCV, bro. Channel 2. Well, now this is makkelijke Simonje. We are one. You don't know this stuff? Yo, brother, you're missing out, eh? You don't know. Yo. Anyway.
Rabobe.
Now we have to move on from Rabube.
Please. And just when I think of Mr. De Villiers, we're only going to give you 1 minute shout out, Mr. Tyler.
Oh, he's probably going to clip this now and say, look what you said about me. I forgot about that.
Clip it, post it on photographic ties,
Oh.
socials. Yeah.
This is not going to go well. You know, there's that people with an overly positive attitude also.
Shout out.
So the attitude is through the roof, but the personality is timid. And those are the best but the worst people. And again, just going back to, you can't change your personality, unfortunately. But you can choose to have a positive attitude. And you can control that. Oh my word.
That speaks to character. Focusing, because character is something that can be developed.
Through personal growth and self-development. I promise you, if you got 9 hours of your time to watch a series, I'm 100% you got 9 hours of time to watch all the podcasts that we had. And definitely just going back to all of them, to our guests we have, maybe a nice segment here to shout out to our guests, which was potent for the season, all invaluable. Invaluable to what they've added. You couldn't ask for better people. Shout out to Sharu, all the way, recovering there, all the way in the Middle East, just doing what he needs to do. And really just go back to that podcast, and I think it's the one I rewatched, where just having him share his story, and you can see when liberation is happening. So shout out to him. And then Mr. Carl Lewis, who you can hear every morning also, sounding very nice on Good Hope FM on the sports, and what he shared. And now we've just got an ultimate connection. He's definitely going to be part of next season. Man, them looking for personal growth again. Very important. And then Mr. Chad Leonard, last but not least, the people who reached out to me, the feedback is just like, how is that man so cool? How calm is that man? Yeah. And then I was telling somebody, I think there's so much powerful lines that Chad dropped to me. Like Robert Kiyosaki was saying, children must keep on asking questions. Is the real teacher or fake teacher? And he's always saying, the quality of your life is determined by the quality of the questions you ask. But I think I found the most powerful line that he actually told me was don't focus on what is, focus on what can be. And what is also then looking at what to trade off. So focusing on what is here in this basket of things now to take out and go. And then if I take that out the basket, what can be attained? So don't focus on what is, focus on what can be. Because trade-offs, guess what? Never leave us the same. Ever. So you can either, don't fear failure, because you must never refuse to try new things.
Are you more motivated by the prospect of success or by the fear of failure?
Ooh, that's a Mr. Crowe.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mr. Desmond Crowe. That's a Mr. Crowe, but the Mr. Price Parkers. Come on, gentlemen. If the will to win must be stronger than the fear of failure.
Yeah.
And it's all now, again, it's all those little nuggets along the way that people have dropped. That was one of his favorite. The footballers. The footballers are probably laughing here for the sharing. The footballers are probably laughing here for sharing the Mr. Desi Crowe. Because it's always, as footballers, you know, we always say, it's your pa. we love to, it's one of our chirps to you, you know, that coach is your daddy, that coach is your daddy. But definitely my football mentor, and with my colleagues. But that was his thing. Your attitude determines your altitude. That's one of his favorites. all the time, and then you're like, what is this man talking about? And then at the end of the day, just smile and wave. And that's the most difficult thing to teach the lighties. Just smile and wave. Sitting on the bench, just smile and wave. Just do your thing. I grand being on the bench. I don't obviously like being on the bench. But if I'm on the bench, I grand it. I'm making everybody laugh on the bench. I'm keeping everybody positive. I'm shouting for bits instructions there. Using my calming the coach down. Lekker man. Lekker. 2 minutes to go. So I'm letting now warm up there. Athlone Stadium, per me 2 minutes to go, letting warm up. Just for the crowd. Lekker. Now just gonna go on. That was my 2 minutes against Pirates.
Yeah, and
onto the field. How was that, bro?
Oh, against Pirates or
60 seconds?
Hey.
Not even? Is it 45?
Oh, then still. It counts.
There's a breathe on the field. Brut, brut. It won a spot. I just come there by the Lachwati. I just wanted to take the last defenders and lucky Lachwaik so bro. Oh man. Here's what they say in the tunnel. They look at Tyron, they say, Tyron, we'll pay all their salaries with our bonuses. I think, yo, got this one on me, bro. Everybody's ego in so. Dat is tot klaar, slecht, sluit. Echt vast. Yo, het was een echt Pirates team. Dat was voor het Athlone Stadium. And those are the gyms. Yo, I had to trade off a lot, bro. To trade off like for football, it was a lot. And I don't think I trade off enough. And that's what I always say. If you needed to trade off more. I always say that about my football. You needed to trade off more. It's a lot. It's echt difficult to be a professional footballer. I look at like Stellenbosch, what they're doing. Class me, bro. You know why? Because it's the lighties that's trading off young already. And they showing that you can trade off from a young age already. That Jaden Adams and that one, I love it. I love it. Sacrifice now, bro. This football thing is short. Like mine was what? Mine was just so that I can talk now about how it was. Literally. The Lord had to give me something. Come on, man. It's just a taste for you, my boy. And the taste was enough. Because you know what was the egg experience? Going to the NEC, the National Players Union, the National Players Conference for the Players Union. And I represented the NFD for Santos, but the whole, for Cape Town. And then I'm lying by the table with Surprise Moriri and Nathan Paulse. He was my roommate and Surprise Moriri, so we connected and just all the captains of the PSL. And I'm a no man's land. I take salute. I'm in. Yo, mama made it. And then who you stand up there, poop. They all say their names there. I think, oh. And they were already making jokes there of the Santos, you know. And I come there, must, you know, me, I must now, don't still worry over chirp. I talk with like it's normal. I'm talking to Surprise Mariri, echt really soft tone. And Lawus Muslala was potent to talk to. But a lot of them. Paulos Moshe, the captain of Free State Stars. That man was class, my bro. But after I gave my introduction, I'm Fagan Daniel. So I don't know, I was 27 years old. I've just finished my degrees and so forth, and I'm coming here to help the players. So they were like, oh, look at this man. Were you in the football game? So those little things. And what is that trading off? That's trading off the all-8 kick. How they judge you. Just go for it, bro. Because they're not going to leave you the same.
So trading off that self-doubt also. There's courage to do that.
Are you willing to give up the good life? Are you willing to give up the self-doubt? And that was this 9 weeks. How we traded of this thing. This man had klom second thoughts. Klom second doubts.
Yeah.
Klom doubters to believers.
Yeah, and it's, for me, I've been transformed in the 9 months, definitely.
The 9 months?
In the 9 weeks. Sorry, I'm thinking 9 months. I'm thinking 9 months because I'm about to give birth to something new.
Ooh, yeah, no.
It's been 9 weeks. And listening to you, it's evident that although you may not always get what you want, you always get what you choose.
And you also always get what you deserve.
Ooh.
And I'll take you back to that when I Chad said. There's 3 levels of deserve. There's you either get more than you deserve, less than you deserve, or exactly what you deserve? People who are getting less than they deserve, this is a common answer for everything that you ask them. I don't know. What are you going to do tomorrow? I don't know. What, like literally asking someone, what have you traded off? I don't know. And that's the worst one. So you're always getting less than you deserve and you're wondering why forever. So I wondering it, why am I getting less than? I'm even going to go to the extent of saying, Lord, why am I not getting? Because you're answering what I don't know. You're answering all the questions what I don't know. Every single question you ask yourself, you're answering what I don't know. That's how simple. But I did find another answer that they commonly give. And like I found out that the people play seat with their dreams.
Eish.
They say not yet.
Hashtag.
Hashtag ek koop 'n boksie metsies, jou winkel is hier
Die
altyd
winkel is toe.
Huh? Playing seat with their dreams? Not yet. Not yet. Do you know how nice I see? Shout out to our Cat. I mean, not reveal your name. But eventually, you will not get what you deserve because you don't know. They only give things to people that knows. Do you understand that? People that know things get things. That's why there's the people that get the money and get paid the big money because they know things. People entrust you with things because you know things. So, people that get exactly what they deserve, on that level, people are usually questioning themselves also. So you're still in a state of you don't know. You don't know, but you don't know.
Your mirror, jou terug.
Your mirror is keeping you back. So, guess how do you think you increase? What are we doing for everybody out there? The only way to increase yourself from getting exactly what you deserve, and just think about this. Do you want to get exactly what you deserve? Here we go. For example, sir, if you commit a crime, do you want that crime to happen back to you?
Oh, no ways.
So, is the biblical principle clicking here to you? Do unto others? Okay?
Do not do unto others.
Do not, sorry, hey. Do not do unto others. So, if you want exactly what you deserve, there's not a liquor principle to follow under.
And we saw that first, and
you know, and this is life principles where things happen where you get exactly what you deserve. And again, finding the principles that we can share, it makes it feel a bit solace. Like this is unfortunately what we see. It's the law of panning itself out. And there's always a law to come out of that again. There's a law to this is what it was, so this is what it should be.
This is how you fix it.
This is how you fix it. And that's why there's laws, because the laws have most rewards and the laws have repercussions. That's the laws you rather use that. Now we also get to the last point, people that get more than they deserve.
Yeah.
What are they doing? What do you think they're doing? What do you think do you think you're getting more than you deserve?
Yes. I think.
So what do you think you're doing?
I think I'm getting more than I deserve, definitely.
And you're happy with it?
I'm content. I'm not complacent, but
the word
I'm
content means happiness. I'm glad you said that, because if you feel that way, aren't you going to keep on in this same vein? Doesn't it make it sound? Yeah, it sounds nogal lekker now. Yeah, if I feel as if I'm getting more than I deserve, and a lot of the times that's my solace again. That's my calma. Okay, I am getting more than I deserve. I've got a courtesy car from a company. They gave me a car. Check, I'm getting more than I deserve. Dakkie in, check, put the reverse here, camera achter and alles. And I'm getting more than I deserve. It's not the car that I have at all from the dealership. But obviously when you complain with a very long 8-page, 9-10 paragraph ChatGPT, you must take note of me. Please. Even though it's just my tire, I need a very nice car to drive in the next couple of days.
And again, it's that the trade-off of the mirror. For me, that is why I'm saying I've been really, my growth is been exponential in the last 9 weeks is because I had to get to a point where I'm trading off the self-image I had of myself that was keeping me behind for the self-image that's going to take me to where I want to be, to who I want to be. Because who you become attracts where you want to go.
And as we say, each success only buys an admission ticket
Yeah.
to a more difficult problem.
Oof. There's levels to it.
That's one of my favorite stickers. Huh? There's levels to this. So you think, I attain this thing, there's another level. And the next level, Mr. Palmer, it's my brothers from Cedar High School, they know. Fear creates comfort zones. And comfort zones are to leave. And it's because it's comfortable. Like it's difficult to explain. Like it's literally comfortable. When you sit in that chair, when you're in that spot, it feels comfortable in your uncomfortability. Because one of the dangers of success is that it makes people unteachable. So you get what you want. Some people get exactly what they deserve and they become unteachable. And we know if you are in a state of getting more than you deserve, you need to remain and become convinced also that personal growth works. That
To buy into the belief.
Back to the belief that things work. As we culminate, ladies and gentlemen, hanging really long, it must klom tyd te jong. Wat gaat hier? Julle mense on the Insta. My brother, just take me through the 9 episodes that we were busy with. Episode doesn't need to be in
order.
In order, but
Okay.
it was.
So, we started off with the law of the lid.
You can't go higher than your personal development and then the leadership that you find yourself under. Quite?
That's law of the lid. Then we had episode 2, the law of intentionality.
Time gaps that people are stuck
Assumption gaps.
in. Assumption gap, time gap, knowledge gap.
Knowledge gap. Big one.
Why are you doing what you are doing? What is the intention behind it?
Do
The
you have
heart
an
behind
intention?
it? Do you have an intention behind what you're doing? Beautiful. Next up.
Law of navigation.
Oh yes, for that question someone asked, where are you going to with this podcast? Okay, and then we navigated it nicely for you to show you that this is where we're going and we're going to keep on going. It's a personal growth journey, as they say, because we found out that we've all got vision, we've all got a destination, and people like to do their SMART goals, specific, measurable, attainable. What's the R for?
Smart.
SMART is for specific, measurable, attainable,
reachable. Is it reachable?
realistic,
Realistic, yeah.
and timelessly. Yeah, that's the L. Can you see the L only?
No, I can see by the L only.
Yeah, you all have done all those things, but what you realize with the law of navigation is you didn't know where to go from where you are now.
Were you using a map?
Or were you using a compass? And then we showed you map. That scale sometimes you make it small, the scale is different. You make it big, the scale is different. Compass, that thing is showing you.
Showing anything is the map. It's in the next 10 years, will your map still be relevant?
Nooit map Jacobs?
But with a compass, north will always be north.
Yeah, no.
That was the thing with map versus the compass. And then we had the law of awareness.
Awareness, yeah, no, aware, and that was just because make you understand that we will be back again. 1 week or maybe not, hiatus as they say, but just to make you aware that these laws exist. You exist, personal development exists, self-belief exists, and when you pay more attention to yourself, you naturally grow from there. What do you have on the law of awareness?
So, law of awareness is my 2 favorite words at this point in time. Know yourself. How do you grow yourself if you don't know yourself?
How do you know thyself if you don't grow thyself? My word of the day. Next up.
Then we had our first episode on YouTube, which was the law of influence. Leadership.
Leadership is influence, nothing more and nothing less. If you wake up in the morning and people will be affected by why you wake up, you are a leader in your own right. And I think that was so important for people to consider who they influence. And I think we spend a lot of times on the who and then how you add value. Because the one thing you want to teach your kids is don't give them money, just teach them how to add value. That's my next mission.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we don't give them money.
Exactly. And
We never reward a lady with money or anything.
when I started my business, one of the things that I was taught is that don't go for the money first. First, add the value. Money chases value.
Yeah.
Money chases value. And then we had our first episode with guests,
Yeah, nee?
Mr. Carl Lewis and
Mr. Sharon Friedrichs.
Law of the Mirror.
And they loved it, obviously, because they were happy with what they were seeing. And I was so happy they were, and again, shout out to the brothers, they were happy with what they saw. They were content. And what I loved about the two of them is just the more. 2024 means more. Like how they struggled also with knowing that they can do more.
Exactly.
And we all struggle with knowing that we can do more. So I appreciated that and just the shame, because that's also what the mirror is about. Are we mirroring what we're sharing? You can delve into my personal life if you want to, but you're probably going to find the same outcomes of the things you hear here. Yeah, go listen to my last conversation with my daughter there on Instagram. Asking me about the Australopithecus and how important it is. I'm sure she can answer that if she's 2 years old. It's just much to do about nothing.
Mind bubble. Empty mind bubble. I'm thinking, what is the Australopithecus?
Australopithecus, my bro? Yeah, you had a bad history teacher when you
Is
were
that like a...
Australopithecus, Homo erectus, Homo sapien.
Oh, okay, I thought it was like a sea animal or something. The ancient ancestor of an octopus. So it sounded like to me.
A lot of men is primary school teachers, my bro. Bad sound. Anyway.
Australopithecus. Then we had the laws of consistency and reflection with Mr. Chad Leonard.
Aye.
Personally, my favorite episode.
No, because you were just, that man had an episode with you, Mos.
Yeah.
You were enjoying yourself, yeah. I was just here listening. I'm like, yeah, so they can. It's lekker to sit with this man in the kamer and just go. And again, he's consistent about that. That which he wants to see. And also that which you want to say. So the law of consistency with that law ties into, just for me, like I said, I don't chase the consistency. I can't. It's not impossible, but impossible in this time. There will be a time when I'll be very consistent. But in this time, I think I'll rather stick to what was added to that, which was the law of reflection. Constantly reflecting, like if I am late, sorry, I apologize. Like for our timing, and we will get it right. And as we reflect back and do a SWOT analysis of the podcast, we will know what works and what doesn't work. We'll check the episodes when we wore certain colors, when we did a certain hairstyle, and what works for us. Because we need to reflect and check the insights and all this other nonsense, because this is not child's play, ladies and gentlemen.
Reflecting, and that is where I had to tie in the 360 perspective loop. I'm not going to go too deep into it, but current sight, you need to know where you are right now and who you are. Foresight, you need to know where you're going and who you want to become. And hindsight, you need to know who you were and where you were.
And I'll rather function on some sight than instinct.
Yeah.
Because if you function on instinct, you're going to be suffering from hindsight.
Yeah.
And we all know what we said. What's the hind?
Dot.
So, and then where are we now?
And then last week we covered the laws of environment.
Oh, you were enjoying that one now.
The law of design and the law, for me my second favorite law is the law of the rubber band.
Oh, the tension.
The tension.
The stretching is echt, man.
The stretching, because you know that is our word for the year, is capacity.
Capacity.
Capacitatie.
Capacity.
So
yes, the word is definitely capacity, and I've been asking to be stretched, bro.
exactly.
Yo, I was working with under sevens. I was laughing klaar for myself. I'm putting the team out, and I say, okay, we're gonna play Klom Lighties against the others. Like, okay, so I just needed to run around. Now I put the three together at the back. So I put the one in the pala. Since you today, you are Marco Campos. My three at the back, you are Walter Samuel. Because his name is Samuel, so he's Walter Samuel. Axel, you have between Rojo in him. You Rojo. The other one. But my name's Max. You Suma Maxi Lopez. In the middle, Fabian Ruiz and Rodri. I'm telling these ladies this, they just so clean. They are laughing, the joy on their face for laughing at me. And I'm putting them all in the position and saying, you play 6, I want you to move up and down, bro. You play. I want you to play. That ball starts, but just that. Yo, my brother, the stretching and running up and down and just going. And that was before the podcast. Nah, best kind.
And for me, the law of the rubber band, it ties so beautifully in with the law of the trade-off. Because stretching requires trade-offs.
Yeah, no.
That's what stretching is literally all about. It's about the trade-offs. When you stretch beyond your current abilities, you have to make trade-offs to sustain your growth.
Sure. Some shout-outs here from many people. A lot of our kids jumped on here. All the other people also. Can't give you all shout-outs, but definitely kicks, Mr. Zaki. For the people that commented there, Zake, I hope you're enjoying yourself in the PSL, my brother. I know how much you had to give up to still be there at this age. You just need a pair of A50s. Then you know you're there again. And then I've been a kid from 2018 Bolton. And lastly, Mr. Cottle jumping on, Mr. Cape Town City. And as we come to the culmination of episode 9, season 1, to package the EP together, so we can go look for some sponsors most next time. So we don't just have our room spray, aka room doom. Huh? Hoe ruik jou kamer? Soos voete of soos mjoute? Yo, tovel.
That's lekker.
So maar give a beetje Daniel of?
Yeah, it's Daniel Blue, I'm telling you.
You can't say it's Daniel Blue, my bro, for the kamer.
There's something in there that's Daniel. It's very familiar. But
again, 100% mysterious stuff for your room doom. But ladies and gentlemen, as we leave you, we see you again soon. Different thumbnail, different alles. We're coming back. So thank you for the 9 weeks. The law of trade-offs, we have to give up a lot to go up a lot. What do you want to leave them home with, brother?
So, we have to leave you home with this. The reason that we're doing this is to add value. But value perceived is value received. So I'll leave you with this thought. The value you perceive in yourself determines the effort that you will put into developing yourself, which determines what you will receive from yourself.
Poof. Ladies and gentlemen, the Lift of Leadership Podcast, Season 1, Episode 9. We are here. See you in Season 2. Goodbye.